My name is Karen Feldman. I've been living in Baltimore since 1982 when I came for college. Haven't left yet. I always say Baltimore has this thing in the air that keeps people here. You think you're coming for maybe, a year, 4 years of college, a job maybe, but has a tendency to keep people here longer than they expect. I came for college. I went to Towson State University, back when it was called Towson State. I was not there when it was called the Normal College. That's when it was way back in the day. I fell in love with Baltimore because it was a lot slower paced than where I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland. I've been here since 1982. I came out in about 1985 while I was still in college. I feel very fortunate because I came out, I really didn't know anything about being gay. I grew up Orthodox and Jewish, and so I really did not know much of anything about being gay, homosexual. I hadn't really heard anything about it. And then I took a class at Towson called Women, Politics and the Law, and the teacher was talking about homosexual rights as well as rights for women. And there was a woman in the class who I became friends with, and she was very politically involved in the 80s with the Gay and Lesbian Community Center, with, I think it was the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, and she asked me to join her for dinner, and I thought that was very nice, and we went to dinner, and she said, "So are you straight or what?" And I said, "Well, can you tell me about that or what option? Because I really don't know anything about it." So I guess the mid-'80s were really my most relevant time in the Baltimore gay community because I was getting involved with groups. I got involved with a group called the Muses, which put on dances and brought acts to Baltimore that probably would not have come otherwise. We brought Lucy Blue Tremblay, we brought Leah Delaria, performers who I think would have done New York, Philly, DC, but we were able to get them to come and perform here in Baltimore. And the other group I had gotten involved with mostly was the 31st Street Bookstore. 31st Street Bookstore had a history here in Baltimore. It was an independently owned bookstore. I've talked with women over the years, and they said, "Oh, I took my children there." They had a great selection, and I've worked in the HIV and AIDS service community. I've worked for HERO. I've worked for the City Health Department. I've worked at Hopkins now for almost 20 years. It's been great to be able to feel like I've been able to give back to the gay and lesbian community as much as they've given to me. Events in the community involved attending Pride. In the mid-'80s, a lot of Pride events would get publicized, but it would be typically the more extreme parts of our community, the more visually striking, that would get on the news, and not so much like a group like Families with Pride, where people, lesbians and gays who had children or were raising children, might have a little picnic area at Pride to let the kids have the support of the community as well. And that very rarely ever made it to the news. But, you had the other extremes. But I think Pride events were important. The dances really made an impact on me. I really enjoyed the dances. My partner of 25 years, we met each other through mutual friends, but we met several times through the dances, and that really was very important to me. Well, the 31st Street is gone. The Muses has disbanded. I think that in the case of the GLCCB, it's the one thing that I really see is still standing throughout the years. I've never really been involved with the GLCCB on a leadership basis. But I have attended meetings here. I really enjoyed when they had a legal approach for either partners or gays and lesbians raising children, because that affected me. I am raising 2 children, and my partner and I have been together a long time, so the changes here legally have made a great impact on my family. But I think the biggest change I've seen in the community is, I call it the diaspora, but the dispersion of our community from the neighborhoods. Baltimore is a neighborhood town. It's like a big city, but broken up into little neighborhoods. And Waverly and Charles Village and Laurelville, a lot of the people settled in these areas, and then they moved out. Baltimore has a tendency as an immigrant population. We sort of started in one area and then we moved out. Jewish communities went northwest, and Italian communities maybe went northeast, and the German community. So I think with the gay and lesbian community, we sort of have gone all over. And it's been hard, I think, for new people in the community to really get a sense of what is central to our community. I mean, HIV care is not central to our community. Raising our children is not central to our community. So, we have such a wide range of experiences for people in our community. It's what defines us.